Not too bad. Now we should be finding our entrance to Zot. See how she goes. Ooh, all the upstairs in the same place, eh? So not much option in terms of retreat paths here. Things go poorly. Also, turns out we did not need to summon friends to take on a Juggernaut. That's good to note. Could switch over to resist corrosion for these ugly things, but as long as they switch off before they come up to us, it's not too bad, and in fact, they do indeed do so. So I tab way too fast, especially with a shapeshifter next to me. Should probably be a little bit more cautious. And we should also read the scroll of enchant armor that we're just carrying around. There's no reason not to. Caustic Strikes. Again, I hate you. Why am I getting all of them this game? Why are you doing this to me? Okay, I'm gonna bring in friends right away. That's gonna be my solution to this problem. And maybe even... yeah, we don't need resistance to electricity against these sons of guns, so I'm gonna gain resistance to corrosion just to make sure I don't regret my decisions. And again, using undodgeable attacks whenever we're able to here, though it's not always an option. Come on. Okay, I'm spending too much time running away trying to line them up when I should probably just be hitting them. Jeez Louise. I sure do hate all you buddies. Hit the distracted one whenever possible, just because that does help get rid of their huge evasion. Okay, not too bad. Very scary, of course, but otherwise not too bad. Also, I love seeing all the altars to everyone. That's fun. Right before the end of the line here. Though, of course, we will just be leaving here because we still do need to find that last rune before we're actually ready to move on with our lives. But not too bad. Oh wow, and the gate to Zot is just in the middle of the floor somewhere, hey? I expected it to be in one of the special rooms that we were working our way through there, but okay, that's cool, I guess. Oh, distortion. Let's maybe be a little bit more cautious of this buddy than I'm giving them credit for. Now we should be able to kill him in one hit. Perfect. Caustic Streaks have ended your Fire Elementalist runs more than one occasion. Indeed, that's why I'm giving them such a wide berth here, because they are one of the absolute banes of my existence. Whether it's my life or my unlife, Caustic Strikes suck a whole lot, to say the least. In fact, shouldn't have given that one even a little bit of leeway. Even a single Caustic Strike is apparently one too many. But we'll switch over. We fortunately do get rid of our corrosion effect in time for the rest of the baddies here. And let's just finish them off the old-fashioned way, shall we? Not too bad. I actually don't know what I picked up there. An unidentified potion. Huh. Again, I thought that we identified all those bad boys. That's funny. What could we possibly be missing? Who's to say? Let's find out, shall we? Potion of Berserk, Experience, and Invisibility. Oh, right. Invisibility Potions. I thought about that like an hour ago in the run that we still hadn't come across one of those. Hasn't changed since. Huh. Wild stuff. Well, definitely not in a bad shape here, all things considered, as I just tab my way through all the monstrosities. Ooh. And we have just a Cape of Resistance right now? I probably want this cloak then. Again, another source of resist corrosion that's a bit more ambient. Willpower as well. We'll see where this leaves us on fire resistance, because I am slightly curious about that. Also, okay, I thought for a second there I grabbed the wrong thing. But let's check it out. Leaves us just 2 pips of fire resistance, but now we're truly filling out just all the categories there, which I love. So I think I will happily keep this up. And in fact, we have how many resistance potions? 3. So we could most likely use resistance potions for Zot itself. Zot 5 specifically, I guess. Otherwise, we may have to come up with some more solutions here. Seriously, what is with all the Caustic Strikes game? Got a problem with me or something? Maybe? It's gotta be, right? Otherwise, I don't know why you'd be torturing me like this. Guess we have resistance to corrosion innately now? That's good. But, gosh, darn it. Don't do that. Especially when we're talking about how they end promising runs. That's a very unfortunate time to have to face one. Ah, right. Paralysis. That's important to deal with. We should have taken care of that eye with a javelin as soon as we saw it. All is well that ends well, as I'm so fond of saying. And we never have to learn from our mistakes if we just get lucky, right? Mind Burst. Ooh, digging. I do want a Wand of Digging very badly. The Tortoise ring can go, unfortunately. Switch it out for the Wand of Digging. And, oh geez. Huh. You did better than I thought, Defender. How did you go berserk? Huh. Don't know how that one works. Well, let's bring in a friend to help distract the Caustic Strike. Please distract it. Thank you. And let's instead just resort to range damage. There's no need for me to get into dangerous close contact with this defender here. Perfect. See who it is, Chloe. You dum-dum. My partner just got home. Dog freaked out because she was currently napping. Silly thing. What a cutie, though. Lucky she's cute. That's what I like to jokingly say. No, of course, wouldn't matter. Love her anyways. Oops, let's take out the Spriggan and not the summons. Perfect, thank you, game. And what else could possibly be in this gosh darn castle here? What a wild ride. It's gone on for way longer than I expected. I also like to see that after not having resistance to corrosion on for so many fights against things like Caustic Strikes and very ugly things that are the corrosion color, now that we suddenly have resistance to corrosion, I'm getting hit by corrosive effects left and right. Don't know how that squares out, but it is what it is. And there we go. Cleared our way through to our favorite Zot area. Well, definitely is something. And I guess the only thing left to do now is probably make our way to Slime. I think I'm feeling pretty good about Slime. We have a lot of resources to deal with the mother of all slimes themselves. Lots of summoning scrolls if things get desperate, condenser vein, just so many options. So yes, let us in fact just do so, shall we? Did we ever find Slime? Did we ever finish Lair? We never finished Lair. Right. Right. Should probably do that at some point. In fact, kind of have to now. Hey, friend Melon. Nice to see you around. New face here. Hey, you're new to DCSS. Do unarmed characters usually end up using shields, or is there something special in this case? I personally very much like using shields on my unarmed characters. I find that the extra defensive capability far outweighs the extra offensive you get from not wearing one. Though I could definitely see people going the other way, especially in a case like this where I do have a very nice tower shield that we were able to find. But I would say that in general, I almost always value defensive power over offensive power in the game. Though that's also to protect myself from some stupid decisions I've made in the past and gotten myself killed with. Curious to hear, yeah, we have definitely some players in chat here who are a bit more well-rounded in terms of their in-game knowledge, who might be able to give you a better answer. But in my book, I would always put my money on shields. Not too bad here. Again, coming back to Lair 6 after being this far in the game, so nice. In fact, I will, I think, hold down tab just completely for these fights. could end up biting me in the ass, but I think even being reduced down to 50% health shouldn't be the end of the world for me here. Even if we get put to sleep over and over, I guess we'll never get through the summons potentially here, so this might be an exception where I should take an active role in taking out the summoners here. In fact, it's that easy, just one javelin does the trick, not too bad. Can even check in on our skills, make sure everything's looking up to snuff here. All looking pretty solid. This is another one where tabbing might not be the best for us, but even if we got fully petrified by a Catoplebis, I don't know if this character would care. And where's that slime entrance? That's the whole reason we came down. Oh, that might actually be it. I've seen once before the slime entrance put behind a translucent ruined door, and that could be the case. In fact, seeing that Jivia shrine pretty much confirms it. Perfect. Okie dokie. Let's quickly finish off the rest of the floor here. Even Nethack don't hold a candle, of course, but, compared to what we've been facing, the nightmares we've faced down below. And that should be just about it. Perfect. One of my fastest clears of layer 6, just because I almost always end up doing this earlier than I should. But let us go the slime pits, shall we? See how she does here. We'll use boomerangs so that we don't have to run around picking up all of our ammunition. And very large, still happy to fight, I think. Especially if we bring them upstairs and they immediately split. Don't mind if I do. And rock slimes in melee, not always the most fun, but apparently just went down no problem. And let us try and mix up being a little bit more cautious here, because who knows what we'll face in slime. It's the one place that I constantly have underestimated in my previous iterations of making it through the game. And that's a pretty fatal mistake, to say the least. But let's just hop down the nearest stairs that we can, as is our usual routine here. Unless we see a rock slime, because I am slightly concerned and would like to take them out before being completely forced away from the retreat path. Perfect. Not too bad. Ooh, we're getting really lucky so far today with the position on these two. And in fact, what am I doing? Let's head back up again. Let's not get too far away from our retreat path. Allows us to heal up and do a little bit of stair dancing with all these sons of guns too. Fusion and blink should be good on both counts there. Let's take these friends upstairs. The fights are going longer than I otherwise might like. We don't have incredible damage output with our unarmed, but much like we were just telling our new friend Melon here, that is preferable in my books here. So as long as we're not taking damage, I don't really mind taking forever to finish a fight. All about staying alive and coming out with the orb at the end of the day. The only thing that truly matters. Not too bad here. Being a little bit careful to take a finger off the tap key when we're not surrounded by enemies, because I don't want to go off rampaging through slime by accident. You never know when there might be a chain of enemies that just keep you running along in horrible directions. Ooh, and I don't love an alarm trap either. That's potentially brutal. So I'm keeping a close eye on our bottom right here, making sure that we don't attract too much attention from that direction in particular. Otherwise, we may have a regrettable situation unfold. Perfect, and we can wait here a little bit. Okay, you're not a danger. That's good. Wait a few more turns. Perfect. It's nice to wait turns just to make sure we're not drawing any attention that I haven't noticed. And let's do the old usual standard plan here. We're going to block off all of our fancy little entrances here and clear most of the floor if possible. At least ideally. Probably should have let them approach me a little bit, these acid slimes, if just because hitting a slime causes a lot of noise. And again, we are trying not to awaken the royal jelly until we're ready to deal with them, if possible here. It's the whole point of why we block off with the exclusions like that, just to make sure that we are in the safest position possible to continue the fight. Aha, as an acid splash comes our way, get out of here. Come to me. Perfect. Not too bad, all things considered. And again, normally I'd be way more careful with that shining eye, but since we don't have to worry about mutations quite to the same extent as a living character, we will just do our thing. Okay, Titanic Slime. You don't get any bigger than that, right, Slimes? I don't think you get any bigger than that. That'd be real scary if you did. You guys deal 110 or something, right? 110? I guess we can fight you then, as long as we're careful about it. Should be in a half decent position with 200 and some health, 200 and some odd change, and perfect. That should be just about it. Now, I would like to face the royal jelly up here, of course. The best retreat path is the one that I wish to engage upon, and let's see how it goes. Now I do want to make some noise, and in fact, I'm tempted to just start yelling. So if we TT, can make some noise. There you are. Let's find out if you're immune to torment, shall we? Immune to acid and resistant to poison. Ah. So you're saying there's a chance. I'm gonna open this fight with a torment then. Immediately surround our friend here. And then let's do an immolate, followed by series of javelins, shall we? Might just barely be hit by this, but that should be fine. Perfect. Oh, come on, Royal Jelly. Come get us. No, I don't want just your followers. Well, I mean, they are being taken care of at least. That's nice in its own right. Even the fire-resistant ones aren't really standing too much of a shot here. And with our 2 pips of fire resistance, we're actually sitting pretty in terms of self-damage as well, which you love to see. Now, where are you? Come on, you coward. Come out and fight. I didn't kill her, right? No, there she is. Or they are, I should say. Since Jivia, of course, is completely fluid in more ways than one. And there we go. One of the easier Royal Jelly fights we've had, to say the least. Usually a lot more crying, a lot more pain, but no problems today, apparently. Even letting myself get surrounded by rock slimes, because apparently I am feeling real strong on this character. Something that will almost definitely come back to bite us in the ass. Let's do a quick Shift X, Control E, clear out all those exclusions, and get the final little bit of treasure, shall we? Poison magic? Meh, but I'll take it. Why the heck not? More silver javelins, that actually is nice. Same with Vial of Floods, not too bad. Enchant Armor Scroll, we can immediately read up and put onto our fancy-dancy armor here. What else? Last but not least, let's just do a little shuffle. Read a scroll of acquirement. Nothing really of use here. Manual fire magic. If for fun, we could do that, I guess. I'll just go with the money. I think it's slightly more score, potentially. Not that that really matters, especially at this stage in the game. Let's drop those amnesia scrolls. Don't need that. And last but not least here, let us grab our rune, shall we? Oh, hello, friend. What are you doing here? I thought I took care of all of your kind. There we go. Read enchant armor right away. Finish off that dragon scales. Get our boots of flying as well. Why the heck not? And that should be just about it. Of course, picking up this last torment. What do we have? Dark Maul. Another fancy sword. Ooh, plus 10 greatsword of vamp. Another character, that'd be really fun. But as is, I think we're all set to go. So let's go with a Control G, Zot 0. And we're on our way down for the final section of the game here. Providing, of course, that we can make it through Zot in one piece. We have a lot of resources at our disposal. It'll be very embarrassing if I die here, game. Don't make me look like an idiot in front of my new friends. That would suck very much. But ideally, I can avoid that being the case here. Again, just judicious use of all of our consumables here should get us through in one piece, all things considered. But let's attract everyone to us. There's no reason why we should bite off more than we can chew here. And in fact, I don't actually want to kill that Draconian. I'd rather keep them blocking the way, make sure we're not getting corroded by their friend that stands behind them. Much better. Oh gosh, and a shift changer and stuff. That's not great. Let's try and delete all of you before we get the chance to see them face to face. That might be nice. Oh, and right, I'm not sure if you're still around, friend Melon, but I should say, welcome to DCSS. It's always really nice to have new players, and I absolutely love to hear that there are still people finding this wonderful game. It's an obligatory comment that I sometimes forget to make, but it's very important, because it's true. I like to express such. Okie dokie. Let's, again, be a little bit careful. No reason for us to take greater risks than we otherwise might need to, so we can just pop back down here. Ooh. First Orb of Fire. Hey, friend. So we only have 2 pips of fire resistant on all the time here. That should be okay. What's my best way to deal with you? Probably silver javelins. All things considered. I will take a brief look at our skills before I do so. Oh gosh. Going through all of the works there. There we go. Silver javelins. Very cool. I don't love doing this with a bunch of damnation and draconians around. That's not fantastic. Looking at our skills, unarmed combat is getting up there for sure. Definitely probably could take on an Orb of Fire with just some good old-fashioned fisticuffs. But throwing is also looking pretty decent there. So I wouldn't mind seeing how 1 silver javelin does. I think we missed, but let's try again, shall we? In fact, oh gosh, dang it. I was about to say, let's get out of here while we just have an Orb of Fire to deal with. And of course, the game almost immediately showed me why that was in fact what we should have done instead of what we did. But moving away here isn't too bad because the Orb of Fire won't fireball us with all these draconians around. And in fact, ooh, maybe that's actually an interesting point here. No, we need to take care of it. Otherwise things are going to get real nasty here. Well, let's see. Affected by anti-magic but not silence, so we cannot use our File of Floods. What else do we wish to do here? It's the quickest way to take care of all these buddies and the Orb of Fire. Condenser Vein doesn't seem quite worth it. Probably should have sprayed some acid on the Orb of Fire, gone their AC down to a half-decent spot. At the end of the day, we can chain blinks to get out of here. We just have to do it early enough as to not die in a stupid fashion. That's the plan, at least. So, Phantom Mirror means the Orb of Fire can distract itself with its new best friend, since they'll just infinitely try and hit each other with Malmutates and Fireballs that do absolutely nothing to the other. That is fun. Are you mean to Torment? You're not. Oh, now that's interesting. I hate to use one here, but I'm going to test it out. Yeah, my Ox Beast will be fine. Oh no, okay, they are. I'm just missing it somewhere, right? I guess they're immune to negative energy. Not just resistant, but immune. Might be the distinction that I'm looking for there. But let us back up a little bit, make them all line up nice and sweet like that. Love to see it. And just blast them. And just blast them. This Orb of Fire is going to be a pain in the ass here. This is a good test, though, against just 1 Orb of Fire when we may be facing up to like 6 or 7 at once in the final section of the game. Very good to note. Want to make sure we don't get deteriorated too much as well, of course. But let's try and get one of these acid charges to stick. Game, please. Sir, please. So we get decomposed out the wazoo. Not great, game. They didn't change how Orbs of Fire worked, right? That would not be fair. Well, maybe we can bring in a distraction for you. That might be nice. Again, let's make sure that we're not falling into the danger zone in terms of our own health. We'll happily heal while they're distracted. Maybe take a couple steps away. Not fantastic here. So I might have to pull all the stops to face an Orb of Fire, hey? Use like Might, potentially Haste as well. But that's fine. That's all to be expected, I guess, at the end of the day. Let us use one scroll of blinking so that I don't do something completely stupid and ruin my entire night, shall we? Oh, still almost did. Would you look at that? So we just need to waste a couple turns out of sight and out of mind. I think this almost does it. Not quite, eh? One more blink is gonna have to do it. Same with a heal in case we get put right next to them, because that wouldn't be the first time that that happened. And again, pulling all the stops to save myself from my own stupidity. Since we put ourselves into that situation, my gosh darn it, we're going to take ourselves out of it. And now, let's re-engage on this, shall we? Where are you? Okay. So I do want to save, we only have 3 resistance potions, and I do want to save those for our future here. Dang it, I was actually hoping to maybe retreat out of this because I did realize that we may want to switch out our rings to something. We had another ring before that gave us another pip of fire resistance or something, didn't we? Or what gave that to us? Our cloak, right? We had the scarf of resistance. Debating if that's worth always switching on to, but for now, let's try Might and Haste. You versus me, Orb. Let's dance, you and I. Much better, but still very scary. Good to know. Oh, fun stuff. What a world we live in. But this is why it's nice to run into that first orb early on, because it does allow us to get in this super valuable test time to see how things shake out. Also, where are regular javelins? There we go. Let's not get shifted around too much by these shifty sons of guns. What are your odds of doing that, actually? Blink Other. Not something we can avoid. Good to make note of. In that case... Aw, dang it. I was hoping to bring them upstairs with us, but fine. Well, instead, just get surrounded, have to reach into our back pocket. Ooh, poison clouds actually are very good in this very specific situation. And same with being surrounded actually isn't the end of the world, because if things miss us, it'll hit their friends. And or in terms of piercing attacks, they'll just refuse to use them because that would kill their friends. But let's go about this slowly and methodically, making sure that we don't die in too silly of a fashion once more. Perfect. There's another shifter looking at us from just over yonder, down below here, which I don't love. Oh me, oh my, the war is never over. Should use summoning scrolls if things start to look drastic here, because that is, again, a nice little get out of jail free card in many a way. Oh my gosh, thank you for that shift. That actually was very cool. Very much what I was looking for here. And in fact, allowed them to all be split up just a little bit. And then we can just take on the shifter alone. You'd love to see it. Oh me, oh my. Already more close calls than I am willing to admit here. But that can still be fixed for the rest of the floor. And in fact, we should immediately do a full exploration Make sure that we know our escape routes at all times. You should know where your exits are. So hey, Brain, thank you so much for dropping on by with the raid. Nice to see you. What were you just playing yourself? DCSS as well, or were you playing... I guess Wildermyth you play as a co-op group, right? So maybe not that this time of night, but regardless, it's nice to see you, and thanks for coming on by with the raid. For those of you who don't know, Brain here, definitely a great DCSS player, much more consistent and better than I am, but also a fantastic supporter and friend who is always happy to share the love and help people out. Very much helped me get my my footing when I started streaming here. Which I say like it was an eternity ago, but really they literally just helped me very recently in getting my feet under me, which I very much appreciate. So I highly recommend checking out their channel if you haven't already. But nice, you were finishing off the Wildermyth co-op. Very cool. I'm, as I've mentioned before, very much, oh geez, jealous, and have been wanting to play that game. But unfortunately, it's just another game on the long list of games that I really want to play. Makes things difficult. Okie dokie, cast into the abyss, not great with the Ghoul, as mentioned before. At least we're in a really half-decent spot in terms of our own power level, so we should be okay to take these fights one at a time and clear them out fast enough. I'm even going to use Auto Explorer because I'm not looking for a rune vault here. I'm just looking for a way out. Perfect. Still in the same Ghoul, nice to see. Just barely. Yeah, a couple of close calls. One that was more recent than I otherwise might have liked, but very happy myself as well to still be around. So who... Oh, you have a long sort of distortion. That's what I'm not paying attention to. And can confirm Wildermyth is great. Oh gosh, making me itch at the seams here because, yeah, I very much would like to play it at some point. Very up my alley in terms of my love of D&D itself and the fact that I've heard such incredible things about the natural storytelling that the game manages to excel at, as well as my desire to do really crappy voice acting for games, and I'm hearing that that's a great game to do so with. So I'll have to get around to it sometime, I'm sure. Especially if I can find some friends to do it with, even some of my family members. That's a fun one that I could convince them to get onto for sure. Same family members that I play D&D with. I'm sure would love that game. But nice that you were finishing it off, Brain, to go back to that, I guess. Are you all pretty far along in your campaign? Pretty much done it? I don't know if there is there a finish point in Wildermyth, or do you just keep playing through the generations and through the years? I'm not actually too sure myself. Either way, I do hope it's going well. And okie dokie, first floor of Zot. Managed to get through here. Not too bad, oh gosh. Already not liking the look of this floor, that's why. Absolute chaos. I mean, we don't have to worry about the Tormentor at least. This is an enemy that would normally be a real pain in the butt as they're having our health, but not today, fortunately enough. As we just continually blink around the map like a wild son of a gun. Don't love that. In fact, just to add to the overall chaos here, I'm going to read one scroll of summoning, bring in some friends of my own, because I do think that that might be crucial to our own survival. And what else can we do in this gosh darn chaos vault that we found ourselves in today? Yes, a box of beasts is another friend that we can bring along, and we do have half-decent evocations, so that should do something at the very least. And perfect, our enraged dragon, hopefully doing a fair amount of work on all the enemies in the top right there, as we can continue to just deal with what's directly in front of our own face. We'll take out the Tormentor eventually, though again, wasn't a priority. And let's get rid of that summon. In fact, I was going to say summoner, but looks like our team, mostly was on it. It all changed with that damnation. Holy cow. How much damage can you hit? Up to 60. Okay. So I think I'm happy to throw out a couple of javelins, try and take out the summoner themselves, and in fact, let's just take a step up ourselves. Perfect. Have we cleared the chaos room? I know there are monsters nearby, but they're on the other side of glass. Don't worry about them. Much more concerned with my immediate surroundings here.